Hello, welcome to Mountain View Woodworking Crafts. My name is Rachel. Today I'm going to be making a sign it's going to be 11 1/4 by 12 inches. I already cut it. And it's going to be Pennsylvania and West Virginia, and then it's going to have little stars where the customer had requested. I'm not sure what the significance of it is, but I think it's cool. I think there's 5 different stars marking towns that he told me he wanted on the map mark. So I'm going to sand this down with 220 grit and 320. And then I'm going to stain it like a, what is it, Golden American? I'll double check before I do it. And I'll let that dry. And then what I'm going to do is put painter's tape over where it's going to engrave at and have the engraver burn through that. And so it'll burn through the tape and we'll engrave a little bit into the wood, and it'll almost be used as like a stencil per se. And I'll go through with black paint where the painter's tape was engraved out of, and use it as a stencil to fill in all of the areas. After I'm done with that, whenever that's done, I'm going to make a small, just like a simple black frame to go around the outside. All right. All right, over to stain it. Alright, so this sign, which is going to be very cute, I ran it through the engraver 3 different times and it still missed some on the outline. So I'm going to run over it. I have the picture up here. I'm going to freehand it just where it went. And it didn't miss a whole lot. It just didn't burn through the whole way. And I want to make sure whenever I go to paint it, it has all of the areas burnt through, so then it's like a stencil. I am going old school before the engraver. I pulled out my wood burner, so I'm going to outline it here and then I'll get started with this. Hopefully I don't mess it up. Alright, I think that looks better. It was kind of like playing an adult connect the dots soothing. Alright, I'm going to do black paint in here. Oh, forgot the star. Alright, so I moved over here to the wood shop. I'm filthy because I'm doing multiple projects here at once. So while this was drying, I was working on something else. So I'm going to peel all of this back. I'm hoping it turned out nice. And then I'm going to build a black, just like a simple frame around it. And I'll paint it, I'll build it, paint it black, and then I'll attach it on. Alright, looking good. I'm just gonna very lightly hit this with sandpaper. Or maybe I'll just use a wet rag. Let's do that. I'll use a wet rag. I'm gonna let that dry a little more before I try and wipe any more off, because it's kind of smearing it. All right, onto the frame. I'm not great with angles, so we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna make it around this width, which is 1 1/8. So I will rip these down. Well, I should cut them. No, I'll rip them down. And then I'll cut them. See if I can get these angles figured out. Actually looks good. All right, I'm gonna hit it with the sander, these, then I'll nail them together, go paint it black, and then put it together. Alright, I'm gonna use black stain. I'm gonna go do that, and then we'll attach it on. All right, I'm going to stain this black, and I may have to touch up a few places here on this, and then we'll put it together and it should be all finished.